The third flight bound for LAX, American Flight 77, hit the Pentagon at 6:37 a.m. United Flight 93 was bound for San Francisco. It crashed in a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania at 7:03 a.m. 20 years ago today. Amy King, KFI News.
A man from L.A. has been stabbed in New York City by a man police say has been arrested twice in the last month for punching strangers in the face. Police say the victim was walking with a group near Broadway Friday night when Auden Marino threw a package of strawberries at them and then stabbed the 29-year-old who confronted him. He's been taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The stabber's been arrested. The fire burning in Butte County has burned nearly 960,000 acres. The fire is now 62% surrounded. More than 1,300 structures have been destroyed by the fire. This fire is the second largest in California history. The fire burning in El Dorado County has burned nearly 220,000 acres and is now 60% surrounded. It's destroyed more than 1,000 structures. Highways 50, 88, and 89 are still closed. Now there's PTSD and PPSD.
Doctors say they're now seeing post-pandemic stress disorder among patients.
Some of the common characteristics for this syndrome are like mood changes, fear of infection, fear of foreigners, COVID-related intrusive thoughts and nightmares.
University of Texas professor Priscilla Prasad says it's not just affecting people who get COVID-19. She says it can also affect anyone who has seen loved ones get sick. She says doctors don't know the long-term effects of PTSD yet, but it should be taken seriously. Amy King, KFI News.
Coronavirus has claimed another victim. The Backstreet Boys tour and album. The group says because of the ongoing pandemic, they've canceled their Las Vegas Christmas show and put off their Christmas album release until 2022. They say they're disappointed, but want to release their music under the best circumstances for their fans. Any tickets purchased will be refunded. Southland weather from KFI. We'll have highs in the 70s at the beaches, mid-80s to mid-90s for Metro LA and OC, low 90s to triple digits in the valleys and IE, with a heat advisory in effect until tomorrow night. We lead local. From the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Mark Ronner.
Checking KFI traffic, reduced roadwork in Inglewood on the 405 northbound from Century Boulevard to La Tijera. Roadwork has the carpool and the 3 left lanes closed until 6 a.m. New Castaic on the 5 northbound of Templin Highway, a fire blocks the 2 right lanes, and through Southgate on the 710 southbound at Imperial Highway, a wreck there blocking the center lane. In downtown LA, 101 southbound of Mission Road, a crash there blocking the right lane. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jonathan Weiss.
Before I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm John Acquayan. I was angry because my dad died when I was 17 and he left me alone. I was angry because I couldn't go to college with my friends. And because I had to drop out of high school. It's not a pleasant story. But as I grew older, I also grew up. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. He left me with values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said, be on time. He didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost, but recaptured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We teach and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
Everybody needs a hero. RooterHero.com. CL 102-8886.
Zero Res cleans carpet without crunchy residue. Only Zero Res electrolyzes water to create a powerful alkaline cleaning solution that's so pure you can drink it. Softer, healthier, fluffier carpets without residue, so they stay cleaner longer. You've got to love it, we guarantee. Fast drying, no recurring stains, and now more affordable than ever. 3 areas carpet or 2 areas tile for only $159. Go to ZeroSocal.com, that's ZeroSocal.com. Go to ZeroSocal.com, that's ZeroSocal.com.
Think you could avoid being drawn into a cult? The answer might surprise you. On the new documentary-style podcast, Was I in a Cult? You'll hear the fascinating real-life stories from cult survivors who got in and, most importantly, got back out again.
Why are we all so obsessed with cults?
Well, because it could happen to anyone.
Perhaps you too will be asking yourself, wait, was I in a cult?
Listen to Was I in a Cult on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. You know, with energy costs rising and temps getting warmer and electric vehicles here to stay, I can't believe how many homes still don't have solar. Now, granted, there's a lot of misinformation out there, so my solar company, Sunlux, asked me to clear some of it up. First, solar doesn't cost you money. It saves you money. A lot of money. Second, it doesn't matter where your panels are made. What matters is who makes them. And finally, you hear about some system out there for $29.95, but that is not what is going to end up on your home. You know, it means something to me that all the partners at Sunlux left top-tier positions at other solar companies. Why? To do solar better. It's why Sunlux is an LG and Tesla Platinum contractor. The best systems, the best battery solutions, the best service, the best warranty, and a solar company who is straight with you from day one. Hey, it's time for solar. Get started today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com, sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
KFI AM 640.
That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing, cheap free. Now that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got some little microwave. Custom kitchen delivery. We got the movies, refrigerator. We got the movies, color TV. The little with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy, that's his old hair.
To talk to Connie Willis, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk to Connie from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies, toll-free, call 800-618-8255. This is Coast to Coast AM with your guest host, Connie Willis.
And thank you for joining us tonight or this morning. You're listening to Coast AM. Connie Willis here. Coast Zone. That is our free email newsletter. We send it out 6 days a week. Are you a part of it? You might want to be. It includes recaps of the previous night's shows, bumper music, all that kind of good stuff too. Fascinating original articles about the paranormal and unusual. Tim Banal in there working his little tail off. And also features that we have daily on the website. Calendar, I mean, all sorts of really great stuff in there. Go to our website. There's just some wonderful things there. And while you're there, make sure you sign up to get that newsletter for yourself. It's right there on the homepage of coasttocoastam.com.
Hey, it's George Norrie, and chances are you're probably in your car right now, which means at some point you're going to have to fill up that gas tank, so why not get cash back when you do? The free Get Upside app does just that. It gives you cash back on every gallon you buy, and right now, if you use promo code George, you'll receive an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up, and that could be $5 or more back in your wallet. The Get Upside app is easy to use. Just claim the cashback offer at the gas station you want, pay with your card, check in, and boom, you're earning extra cash back for buying gas. So do yourself a favor. Download the Get Upside app now and use my promo code George to earn an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. Start earning cash back every time you fill up with Get Upside. And remember, promo code George. That's Get Upside, promo code George. Get Upside, promo code George.
If you think vaccines alone will protect you from COVID-19, think again. More breakthrough cases of COVID variants show that vaccinated people are still vulnerable to the deadly disease. To beat safe. Monitor regularly for fever, as it's the leading sign of COVID-19. Use Exergen, the only thermometer scientifically proven to detect fever. And beware of non-contact devices that miss 5 out of 6 fevers. Remember, vaccines are not enough, so protect yourself and your family with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. Learn more at Exergen.com. Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
With stations all over the U.S., North America, Puerto Rico, Guam, and by satellite. We are Coast to Coast AM. Connie Willis here doing open lines. Where were you when it happened? 9/11. I'd like to hear those stories from you, as well as talking to our guest who's sticking around with us, Stanley Swan, and hang out and answer some of your more specific questions about what happened there, because he was around it, and just even being in the state itself, you heard more things than pretty much anybody else. At least that's what I think about that. So Stanley, hey, you're like the popular man tonight. You're the guy.
Oh, are we generating some phone calls?
Oh, I want to talk to Stan. I want to talk to Stan. So we are. In fact, I want to catch up with west of the Rockies, Kurt. Trucking in New Mexico, one of the creepiest
Hi,
states
how you
out
doing?
there. Hey there, Kurt. How are you doing?
Phone call.
You're welcome.
Very well, thank you. Just driving away.
Well, be safe out there.
I had a couple of observations for Stanley.
Sure.
I know it might be a little off topic for what you guys are doing tonight, but two observations that I never hear about in the news or anybody talks about. One, which is the seismic value of both of these buildings collapsing, the towers, and the effects that it would have on the surrounding buildings, specifically Building 7. My understanding is those seismic values were noticed on Richter scales. I believe it was 2 miles away, but I'm not exactly sure. And the second observation was when the planes came through the building, so many tons of number one aluminum or aircraft aluminum coming in contact with diesel fuel, they would have moltenized almost immediately. And then, of course, that molten aluminum coming in contact with water. And some of the largest industrial aluminum plant explosions were from, unfortunately, that contact with water. And the explosions were pretty severe. And also a byproduct of aluminum with water is nitrogen, which burns at about 7,000 degrees. I believe it's 6,800 degrees, which is more than enough to melt structural steel. My question for Stanley is, and I know he's not a forensic guy, and that's okay, but I was just curious if he'd ever heard anything about those two particular reports, because I always felt that they should have been included in the investigation.
Thank you, Kurt, for your call, and thank you for being out there on the road. We need guys like you every day out there, so thank you. One thing I wanted to mention concerning the debris field there, you talked about the massive amounts of steel and concrete and the temperatures involved and everything else. There was, after the towers collapsed, there was about 8 stories above ground of debris, and most people don't realize that below ground there was another 6 to 8 stories below ground. So you've got a huge amount of product there, and I could see that setting off some pretty big shock waves around the city itself. And that first airplane, Flight 11, that went into the first tower was carrying 20,000 gallons of jet fuel. And you could tell when that hit with that kind of an explosion what kind of heat mass that would cause, virtually enough to melt steel.
Yeah, I got the visual as well from what you said about how many stories down you think?
Of fuel on that. It was a full tanks on that plane. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean I'm sorry. Going back to the debris and all the building. You said it went down like maybe another 8 stories down.
It was 6 or 7. There were 6 or 7 levels below the towers, below street level. So you've got all that down there that had to be pulled out and taken away and searched. And it was an incredible task. That's why it took 10, 11 months to clear that site, because there was just so much there to move.
Now, when I was there a couple weeks before it ever happened and got to go to the top, I am so happy that I got to do that and be a part of that. But it was interesting as well, because I was new to knowing that there is like a mall down below, right?
Yep, it was. Yep.
Right? Were they in both towers?
That I do not know, Connie. There was a shopping mall in the one tower, but I'm not sure which one.
Oh, okay. So, but it was only in one, not the other?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I knew nothing about it, and we were getting the pictures, and while we were waiting to get pictures before going up and going to the top, it was just very strange because I still don't understand what happened, but I was in some like Twilight Zone kind of weirdness. Now there's a lot of people there. It wasn't like, oh, it's all closed down and nobody else is down in the basement area where the shopping centers are. But it was strange because you get your picture taken, right? So there's a lot of people around. There's got to be bathrooms close by. Somebody sent me where it just almost just kept going and going. I couldn't find the bathroom. I ended up being down in the basement where those where this shopping mall was. I was like, wow, look at this. And it was all empty. It was all closed. It had the weirdest vibe. I could not find a bathroom anywhere. I ended up...
That would have been weird.
It was. None of it made sense. And then I ended up being in the other tower, and I just kept going and going. I couldn't find anything. It was like when people say around, where is it, in Tennessee down there in the Bell Witch area, they say they'll merge up onto a highway, and they continue merging, and they never get to the highway, and it's a continuous merge. It was like that, and I ended up getting into the other tower. Is it possible to get from one tower to the other tower down below?
Yes.
At the time? Well, I did it, and I had asked somebody, where is the bathroom? Finally, I found somebody, and it was like a janitor type thing, if I even remember that, and they were like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I guess maybe I even thought that. I said, I'm just trying to find the bathroom. I'm getting a picture taken. Where'd I go? I knew I'd been roaming around for a while. And they just pointed the direction. But it felt weird. It felt empty. It was empty. Nothing was open. It was during, 10 o'clock in the morning. And it was like I was in the Twilight Zone. I felt like something was wrong.
Like Connie's been beamed up.
Well, isn't that something? Doesn't that? I mean...
Yeah.
And then weeks later, that happens?
Yeah.
Right.
It makes for memory, doesn't it?
Well, when we got the picture taken, too... Have you ever done that? Did you get the picture taken there at the Trade Center ever?
No.
And go up to the top?
No, I was never there, only after the fact.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how it is. You live in Florida and you never go to Disney World either, right? You live right next to places where people come from all over, right? Well, you can get your picture taken, and we got it. I was going to try to find it and put it up on the Coast site, because when we got the picture, and by the way, when I finally got back, like 40 minutes later or whatever it was a long time I was gone. Nobody even noticed I was gone. It was like this abduction thing happened. It was really weird. But we got our
Connie was caught in a time warp of some kind.
something. I'm telling you, something was giving me the vibe of knowing something's not right there. That's for sure. Something was not right there. But when we got the picture back after taking the picture, I remember looking at it, and the first thing that came to my mind was, and I said it out loud too. I said, "Golly, this looks like history." It looked like a picture that was going to be historical.
And so it was.
Yeah, and yeah, it just didn't. It was amazing. It was just like, the premonition thing was going on, I guess. So back to the phones here. Mario, wildcard line number 1 out of Florida. Hi, Mario. Welcome to Coast to Coast.
Yeah, we're getting angry with that. The whole thing is really weird. It's really up our papers are moving to the weird. Now, I remember that hole in the ground, about 10 stories down, I traced you studies before the meeting. I was there to witness how it went down into the granite bedrock. Now, it was 10 stories down. Well, let me tell you, it's a big hole, because I moved to more those doors. These buildings are big sections.
He's got such a bad, I cannot even hear him. Poor guy. He's been waiting there for a long time. I feel really bad about that. But I did...
That's cell phones, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have good connections, sometimes you don't have good connections.
Yeah, Mario, give us a try back if you can. Out of Illinois, wild card line number 3, that's Eric. Hey, welcome to Coast, Eric.
Hey, Connie, this is Eric, the mind control guy. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, doing good. Fixing to go into my store and unload some groceries.
All right.
But anyway, I'm glad I got on. Anyway, my question is, I have no idea how many different companies had offices that were inside both of those towers. But doing some research a while back, something that kind of stuck out. And what stuck out for me was the owner of the buildings, Larry Silverstein, got a $4.5 billion payout just a couple months before the towers were attacked. He, of all things, gets terrorism insurance on the towers. He gets a $4.5 billion payout. All those companies and all those people that had offices and stuff inside the building, did they get any compensation as opposed to what Mr. Silverstein got?
Stanley, I have any clue?
any of that financial thing. I really have no knowledge, so I can't speak to that.
I don't either, and that's interesting to know that. I would think, though, pretty much anybody, especially after the plane hit it before, I would think that he would have had that kind of insurance anyway. I didn't even know there was that kind of insurance. That's how much I know about it.
All those people that were there that day, if they were employed and they were there at work, those people were going to receive death benefits from the company that employed them. There's no way that their families would end up with nothing, losing someone. And probably they all had life insurance as well, but the company that's employing people, if something tragic like that happens, that they're going to have to fess up and pay a family death benefits on the death of a person at work. So
back to the phones, wildcard line 4, Walt out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Coast, Walt.
Hey, Ms. Willis, remember I'm your original Bigfoot with the size 18 shoes.
How are you?
All right, how's yourself, folks? Well, I have a little, I don't want to inject a little levity into the very somber topic, but I have a little question for Mr. Swan. What do you call an undertaker who does cremations?
Go ahead. I may have not heard that one.
An overtaker.
Okay.
So I just thought of that.
I have not heard that one. I've heard a lot of funeral jokes over the years, so I published another book on funeral jokes. But
that was his.
Very good, Walt. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like I said, the 9/11 scene in New York was, it might have been regarded as a great funeral pyre, a great, the people were literally cremated and essentially, turned in, I guess when you're cremated, like you say, it turned into essentially Scott's turf builder. You can be used as fertilizer. Now, with all due respect to you and all the other undertakers, I have some very good friends of mine that are funeral directors, but personally, I regard cremation as really a form of air pollution because it might be regarded as burial in the atmosphere. With all due respect, I think when we die, I think the best thing to do is, I think green burials are becoming more and more appealing to, the environmentally conscious. I think that we should be placed in a biodegradable container and be placed, where we belong in the earth and be recycled. And that's essentially what I want to be done with my body. And then they, when they bury me, and they can put an acorn on top and let an oak tree grow, and then my relatives in 100 years can come and hug the oak tree as a form of remembrance of me. So
tonight, I commend you for thinking about what you want to do for yourself, and make sure you let your wishes known to someone, immediate family, and better than not, get it in writing and have it notarized, and so people know what you want done. But I think what you want for yourself is very commendable. A lot of people are thinking about green burials with no embalming chemicals and all those things. So that's kind of the wave of where we're headed.
Yeah, I like his idea of then later on, he gets hugs from time to time. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's a whole nother show to talk about that kind of stuff for sure.
We did that about 5 or 6 years ago, about 4 hours one night, Connie.
Yeah, we did. Oh, that's right. And now you're sticking around again. It's that broadcaster in you from the past, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you sticking around and talking with us and answering some of these questions. Just being there, there's some things that you can answer that, I'm just kind of listening to and having the same kind of questions along the way, because it's still just watching every one of the I watched every documentary that was on Hulu, at least, and I just it takes you right back like it just happened, and it was, I know it was a beautiful day in New York City, but it was also a beautiful day where I was in Orlando, and it's still absurd. So where were you when it happened?
Myself?
Yes.
I was at our sheriff's department range. We were qualifying for with weapons that morning.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, and when the sheriff, one of the deputies drove in and said one of the Twin Towers was just hit by an aircraft. They think it was a passenger aircraft, and we all kind of like scrambled back to the sheriff's office and sat around the television and watched for the rest of the morning.
That's right. That's how you found out. I'm sorry. You had said that earlier. I apologize. Some people just turned on the TV and they just haven't seen it. I was one of those. I turned it on, there it was, and then boom, the next plane. So seeing it live like that, whew, tough stuff. So we're talking about 9/11, open lines, taking your questions. Connie Willis here, Stanley Swan sticking around with me for a little bit, and more to come here. You're listening to Coast AM.
KFI, news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
I'm Mark Bronner from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A homeless man has been arrested for allegedly stabbing a security guard to death behind a strip mall in Anaheim. Anaheim police say Joseph Gomez was stabbed in what they're calling an unprovoked attack in the parking lot on West Lincoln Avenue. The 24-year-old homeless man was arrested as he tried to leave the scene. LA County Health Director Barbara Ferrer says 100% of COVID-19 cases in the county are the Delta variant.
Fully vaccinated people are well protected from severe infections with Delta variant. It's now clear that fully vaccinated people can become infected, and if infected with Delta, they infect others.
Ferrer says cases per 100,000 people are down 50% from mid-August. Despite the drop, Ferrer says the CDC has still classified the transmission of the virus in LA County as high. Southland weather from KFI will have highs in the 70s at the beaches, mid-80s to mid-90s for Metro LA OC, with a heat advisory in effect until tomorrow night. We lead local. From the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Mark Ronner.
Checking KFI traffic, we do have a crash in the Anaheim area. 91 eastbound at 57. Crash blocking the carpool lane. Due Culver City on the 405 northbound at the 90. Crash clearing to the right shoulder. And we do have a closure in the Inglewood area on the 405 northbound from Century Boulevard to La Tijera. Roadwork at the carpool. And the 3 left lanes closed until 6 a.m. Traffic is backed up to the 105. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jonathan Weiss.
With record low interest rates, is it still wise to pay off your home, or has it become unwise? Wall Street says money never sleeps. Well, your home equity is in a coma. It's earning zero. Record low interest rates have created enormous opportunity for homeowners to borrow equity and move into alternative investments. It may have made a lot of sense when interest rates were 6 or 8% to make it your highest priority to pay your home off. But with these record low rates, it's no longer wise. It's a timeless understanding that buying low and selling high is the way to gain wealth. How about borrowing low and investing in higher returns? Call HMS Capital today. With their razor-sharp interest rates, they're confident they're going to earn your business. No appraisal fee, no application fee. So phone them up right away. 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. That's 833-255-5698. Or visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA Funding Empire Inc. NMLS ID number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 0130360. Equal housing lender.
Someone uses your toilet and it overflows. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is for your guests and for you? Hello, I'm John Akoyan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. You're hosting a party, the water's on the floor, and your guest has to tell you that the toilet is backed up. And worst of all, you have to tell your guests that they can't use the bathroom. I shudder when I tell this story because it happened to me. Can you imagine? I own Rooter Hero Plumbing and my toilet overflowed. Talk about being humbled. Well, the truth is, it could happen to anyone. And the solution is to call 866-DRAIN-77. That's what I did, and our plumber was here within the hour. Not because I'm the owner, but that's just what we do. I'm so confident that you'll be satisfied with our services that I put my cell phone number on every business card. 866-DRAIN-77. That's 866-DRAIN-77.
Everybody needs a hero.
Yeah, 102-8886.
This is not your first rodeo, or ours. SoCal knows what to do in a drought. So does the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, and that's conserve even more water. Because water saved today is water we can keep in reserves for more dry tomorrows. We're counting on you to save, and you can count on us to help. For rebates and water-saving tips, visit BeWaterwise.com.
Contractor license 1047-781. Dad taught me to do things the right way, not the easy way. You got any brothers and sisters? 8 sisters, 7 of which are older than me. Did they teach you anything? They taught me that people matter a lot. I'm talking to Ken Goodrich, owner of Gettle Air Conditioning and Plumbing. The day I started my business, my first job was for a 90-year-old man whose air conditioner broke down on the hottest day of the year. And he didn't have any money to pay me. That's awkward. He was really embarrassed. So when he asked if I could take an old cello as payment, I told him I always wanted to learn to play the cello. The what? The cello. It's like a giant violin. You talking about the thing standing in the corner of your office? Yeah. I didn't know you could play that. I can't. Then why'd you take it? I took it because he would probably have died if I hadn't fixed his air conditioner. I took it because people matter. I like working here, Kenny. I like working here too, Jack. Gettle. Goetpl. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk. talk to Connie Willis, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk to Connie from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies, toll-free, call 800-618-8255. This is Coast to Coast AM with your guest host, Connie Willis.
Coast to Coast AM. Connie Willis here with you. Hope you're enjoying the evening, and we've got more, of course, with open lines. A reminder about an event that George Norrie's going to be at, and that is, holy cow, it's the 25th. Oh my gosh, it's coming up. It's finally coming up. It's been, I've been talking about this for a while. You might want to check it out if you haven't already, or learn about it a little bit more. George Norrie Live. It's going to be Saturday, September 25th at the historic Everett Theater. That's in Everett, Washington. Really nice area and a very nice theater as well. This is a Dan Heiser Wagner Entertainment production, and Ross Allison's going to be out there. Joshua P. Warren's going to be out there. John Hogue is going to be out there. And my buddy and pal Ron Moore is going to be out there. And of course, George Norrie is going to be out there. So if you'd like more information on that, check out the website. Look under events, and you will see it there on coasttocoastam.com.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. That's why Super Beta Prostate is the #1 prostate supplement recommended by urologists. You can try a full 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply. Absolutely free. Call 1-800-483-6019. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-483-6019. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. 1-800-483-6019. 1-800-483-6019.
Right now, people are home with their pets more often, and I think now, especially with shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue. And Dynavite has helped tremendously in our house with that.
I just heard the Dynavite commercial so many times that I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
The Dynavite, the being at home, working with them, they all love it.
Me and Chewy are together.